You know, there are activists out there who get miffed if you say the word chemtrails now.
Calling, writing, emailing, saying these are chemtrails, the government is poisoning us. They are contrails.
In lieu of something more scientific sounding and official like solar radiation management, which just sounds like some corporate fluff. It sounds like promoting synergy. We're promoting synergy with solar radiation management. Either way, geoengineering via aerosolized particles that are deliberately sprayed into the atmosphere on a mass scale right over our heads by scientific dictatorship decree, it's not a myth. It's not a crazy conspiracy theory, and neither is our government's long and sordid history of weather modification.
Are contrails, condensation trails. Every time this happens, I will get people calling, writing, emailing, saying these are chemtrails, the government is poisoning us.
Just by the way on that real quick, back in December, Derek Bros reported on how NOAA has now conveniently admitted that contrails might be, derisive air quotes, accidentally geoengineering the climate. Oops. Whatever.
Strontium and barium, they may be chemtrails that have, no matter what, it's putting lead into the air, okay?
There are still people who swear that no matter what you call it, chemtrails, geoengineering, SRM, that all of it is just a conspiracy fairy tale cooked up by us tinfoil hatters. Well, who better then to discuss all this tinfoil hattery than our very own CIA director, John Brennan? And what better place for him to do it at than the Council on Foreign Relations?
It is indeed a pleasure to be back at the Council to compare notes.
Right here is an excerpt from an appearance Brennan recently made June 29th at the CFR on the topic of threats to global security, which, as part of the agenda being pushed, they have decided that anthropomorphic climate change is one such threat.
Another example is the array of technologies, often referred to collectively as geoengineering, that potentially could help reverse the warming effects of global climate change. One that has gained my personal attention is stratospheric aerosol injection, or SAI, a method of seeding the stratosphere with particles that can help reflect the sun's heat in much the same way that volcanic eruptions do. An SAI program could limit global temperature increases, reducing some risks associated with higher temperatures and providing the world economy additional time to transition from fossil fuels. This process is also relatively inexpensive. The National Research Council estimates that a fully deployed SAI program would cost about $10 billion yearly. As promising as it may be, moving forward on SAI would also raise a number of challenges for our government and for the international community. On the technical side, greenhouse gas emission reductions would still have to accompany SAI to address other climate change effects, such as ocean acidification, because SAI alone would not remove greenhouse gases from the atmosphere. On the geopolitical side, the technology's potential to alter weather patterns and benefit certain regions of the world at the expense of other regions could trigger sharp opposition by some nations. Others might seize on SAI's benefits and back away from their commitment to carbon dioxide reductions. And as with other breakthrough technologies, global norms and standards are lacking to guide the deployment and implementation of SAI and other geoengineering initiatives. Now, I could go on and on and on and on about the things that fascinate me.
We reported on this right after we first started our website back in 2013, that the CIA has been interested in geoengineering for a while now. The agency chipped in on a $600,000 climate control study, and at that time they were saying it had to do with the implications of climate change on national security. So there's no reason to think they just paid all that money and went, we're good. We got other things to do. Not that you would think that climate change, geoengineering would have anything to do with the CIA, at least in a superficial sense. But there you go. I think my favorite comment is Sir Farquaad here, who said, "What a load of crap. Nothing preserves the relevance of a government organization quite like being issued the unlimited power to create a world threat in order to justify everything that organization wants to do. moral or immoral without any congressional oversight. Pretty much sums it up. Meanwhile, no matter what you want to call it, chemtrails, solar radiation management, CIA happy sky sprinkles, if the CIA director is blithely chatting up the CFR about it, you can best believe it's probably not hypothetical.